it's TheShadowArchR back with another episode on Elite, and today we are going to be continuing the landscaping, the terraforming, the everything, really. That means yes, we did the hills last time, and we did the river, the river layout, should I say? And today we are going to dig. We're gonna dig a lot. And so that's the idea. And so I think the perfect place to get started is probably near the river. And so I'm going to go ahead and I just want to start. So I don't want to start doing stuff around. I mean, this is pretty natural, which is nice. So I don't want to start doing stuff around this section, I think. We've got the massive ravine with the river carvings, and we've got this mound which needs a bit more shaping. I think this is the one that sort of needs a bit more shaping in general, so we're going to just go ahead and start. And yeah, this is going to be quite a lengthy process, so there might be some cuts here and there, just to show, but I sort of want to do most of the planning sort of as we go. We're most likely going to have issues with stone appearing, so then we're going to have to replace that with dirt, etc. Blah blah blah. Like, we're going to have to really start shaping this in a way that, you know, lets us have nice things. So sort of feeling natural there. That's good. And then we sort of come down this way. And we can, we can sort of, and as you'll see, there is bits like this because a lot of this area has already been terrained by me when I was doing clearing trees and stuff like that. There was a lot of caves and other sections and hills and all sorts. So there are actually some parts that have already been terraformed over the top of. I'm liking that. I think that's going to be a nice little continuation of it. Let's go ahead and dig this out. Dirt drilling there. It's just so satisfying. It's very satisfying. It's probably one of the most satisfying sounds. So even though we used like a lot of dirt last episode, we're probably going to gain a lot of dirt this episode, and then we're going to probably use a bunch more to get rid of stone. I guess we'll see, but you know, and see how that's sort of already natural. I think I'm just going to keep that. That's really nice. Alright, so you see, to me that's already really enhanced this area. It's like we're now running along, and instead of it being like, you know, just flat and then a hill, like, that's really nice. And you know what, I think even this section should be trimmed. Yeah, and so I think, you know, that's sort of just the ideals of, you know, having little ditches and stuff like that, just making it feel a bit more natural. It's going to be a hill, a bridge here, obviously. This base is probably going to go a little bit further. I was sort of thinking like a V shape in some sense here, so like, you know, maybe out to about here-ish. Sort of thinking a little bit of a crevice like that. It's already feeling 100 times better in my opinion. I think, you know, that hill, flat land was just so plain. Now it feels very, very natural and okay. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark out some areas, so I'll show you those. So I've gone and marked out this little area. I think it's just, you know, like, even though it's very minimal, I think little things like this just, you know, I think I need to keep it varied enough. And so just, I'm adding this one, maybe add that, yeah. Just off of the river, you know, little thing that matches that hill, that curve actually matches that hill landscape, so that'll just add a nice little crevice into that section. I'm just thinking, because we've got like this open space here, Then we have the building which is leading towards the water and stuff like that, and I'm just feeling if we maybe raise this path onto a hill here, we could potentially do something quite nice there. And I'm thinking if we sort of connect it to this part, you know, not too heavily, but we could potentially pull something like that off. So as you can see, I've just raised the path that we had there. Pretty much the exact same pattern, just doing things. I'll have to obviously add the slabs so that this is a nice little thing. But that's our nice little hill. And now I'm just going to go ahead and shape the rest of this hill as required, really. Yeah, that looks nice. I like it. It's going over the top. We can have a tree there, or a boulder or something. Yep, that works. Cool. Yeah, I'll continue and I'll come back. So just to this same area, I've just added this little nice thing. It just felt a lot more natural to add a bit more of a crevice there. In fact, sharp point maybe might work a bit nicer. Yeah, sharp. I think. Ooh. What if I like? Whoa, what is that? Tricky. Tricky to say. I think maybe that? That's nice. I don't mind that. I think. No, that's better. Yeah. But yeah, so just I feel like that's a lot more nice for that little section. Just added this little patch here. Yeah. Just over in this little section of the building, it was like sort of half cut off by the grass, etc, etc. I think that's meant to be stripped. I'm just gonna strip that for them. And yeah, just added this like nice little like crater bench as if it's like, you know, like eroding around the building. I think that's quite a nice little simple feature to add. Which is right over here, and we now have this little cut, which I believe I mentioned when I made this hill. I think I mentioned that I was actually going to do like a mini little sort of nice little thing here to sort of integrate that as a bit more of a dramatic turn so that it slopes up. And yeah, I sort of want to I'm really liking the idea of doing the stone thing that I mentioned as well, so look out for that in a future episode. Hell yeah, that's nice. I like that. That works. Could we potentially get... I don't like how far it comes out there though. I think it needs to go a bit more in. Yeah, that's a bit nicer. Cut those away. Maybe go in. 1, 2, in, 2. Cut this down thinner. And it's sort of like it's getting thinner and thinner. So it comes out into a block and then gets thin, 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 thin. So then our path is on a rise here. Yeah, I like that. Cool. And then, yeah, and then maybe we can play around with this area a bit more. Maybe we can have a slight dip in the end part or the start part. Maybe we can mess around with that, I guess. I think it wouldn't make sense to have too much of a dip for the whole space, just because of the way that this is formed. But I think maybe a space to sort of outline this might work nicely. So it adds a little bit to this space, and I think, you know, like we could have like a nice little feature here. It's one of the more open areas, so having a little bit of a dip like that's sort of nice, and then a nice opener space there would be ideal. Yeah, I like that. It works. Alright, on to the next. I don't mind that too much, but I'm also thinking like using that as a cool little space, so we could have like the path route off here and go up, and just, you know, have a nice little cave thing. Maybe, I don't know. But you know, that's a part of like, let's get rid of that because that looks ugly. The rest of it sort of looks okay. That's all nice. Like this, I've already terraformed this section. I had to terraform this whole ridge, this whole up down was not here before. It was very flat. So I had to really terraform this section. So majority of this is fine. I sort of planned it around my base. That looks like an enderman. This section, I don't know what to do with it. I think it needs a bit more shape, and I think it's gonna be shaped like this. So I think we're gonna try. I don't want it too close to the path the whole time. Like it's sort of, I want it to sort of merge out, which sort of stays with the path, I guess. But I like it a lot better for this section, just because, you know what? Even chuck that out. Yeah, that's nicer. It sort of just, you know, shapes it with the mountain a bit nicer. I don't like that it's not shaped with this though. It's sort of getting me. So I think I'm gonna, something like that. No, yes, maybe. What if I do that? Oh yeah, that sort of works, I guess. Like that, yeah, because then that's that chunk. Yeah, that works. I'm gonna have to shape all of this, aren't I? Just a little bit. I don't think it needs to be as dramatic. It can sort of get smaller so that it merges in. Yeah, sweet. That's nice. I like that. That's sort of like it's going in, but it's not fully taking up that space. I like it. And then this is gonna have to do the exact same, but on a much harsher scale. If you have a look at the landscape outside, we've got a massive sort of like arch thing here, so then we could potentially get away with having this go down a bit more, like so. Yeah, that feels fine. Alright, cool. And then this is gonna have to do the exact same thing, just once again, barely anything. I likes it. I think, you know, that just adds a sense of extra landscape, which just makes this area a bit more interesting, because I did sort of have it just cascading down, which is fine because of this mountain, but it just didn't feel right. So that worked nicely in my opinion. I think 2 might look nice in this section. Add a bit more dramatic effect to this section, because this is very plain, this section, so this adding a bit more of a dramatic dip might help it. Okay, so this section I sort of want to break the I want to break the pattern. That's not what that should be. What is going on here? Okay, this is way too blocky. We need to fix that. Let's make it stick out of the ground. That's absolutely fine. And then I can add things on the sides here to make it look pretty. Alright, cool. I'll fix that up as a build. And then I think the other thing is, no, I don't want to fix that, because that's going to look weird if I do. I mean, I could probably make it work. We're going to make it work. Now, in Minecraft terms, this looks really weird, because, I mean, like, because you're sort of looking at, a random strip that's coming out. Like, it's sort of, designing, like normal building, yeah. Terrain, no, you wouldn't really see this. But I am trying to make it a bit more realistic, and in real life you would probably see something like that, where it's a hill, it's been eroded a bit, rain keeps eroding it, etc, etc. So I think the place that I would stop is probably about there, because we'll probably have an entrance thing to something here-ish. We might have to redesign it at some point, and then that allows us to redesign this part. So let me just go ahead and dig that out, shall we? So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Bam! And we have ourselves a bit more of a nice terrain here, and I absolutely love how this has turned out. It feels quite natural in some sense. It's like, you know, it's cascading, and it's got a nice little dip here, and I feel like this bit needs to just change to that. I didn't realize that part. Yeah, I think this is a really nice space. I think, you know, just having that like mini ditch in there it just creates so much depth. It really does. Oh my god, the amount of mobs underneath me in that cave. I really need to light up that cave. Alright. But yeah, I think, you know, this is like a really nice transition. It's a really nice... Oh, hello, mate. Don't mind me. Oh my god, the amount of creepers. Can you see that on the map? Jeez. That is crazy. Rightio. Anyways, but I think that is going to add such a nice little touch to this space. Instead of it just being completely flat, it's going to have this nice little section. We're going to be able to play around with that a lot, especially with the decoration. Add some boulders, add some trees. It's going to look really, really nice. And I believe... Was that majority of our landscaping done? It's tricky to say. I think it might be, because we did all of that. I think we wanted to keep this flat. Yeah, it is. Wow. Well, that was a very fun process, and I think we've got a really nice base. We've created some really nice terrain, and I think it's just going to really, really enhance this area. It's looking a lot better. A lot of things are starting to flow nicer. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I think we're going to leave it there, because that was quite a lot of work. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next episode we can start planning out some decoration, perhaps. Exciting. The river didn't change, so we could potentially fill in the river next episode. That's definitely gonna be exciting. And yeah, I think, you know, that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe for more of this content, for more of these episodes. Leave a comment down below if you have any suggestions. And when I say any suggestions, other games, etc. For the world, decorations, little bits that you might think need a bit of a change, go for it. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and goodbye.